Just in time for the pumping of the hex.
Woo-ha!
Yes, and good morning to Bullish XL, Mel Tony, Bob Saget, Finn Bear, Red Squirrel, DJ Cryptomatic. He's also in
I'm everywhere.
What? Okay. Ducky Peach, COTG, Alan Fields, and Hexpulse Bass, 777, Hexagon Center, Hexagon Create Channel, sorry. And Crypto Gains Club. Hello. And who's here? Hex KT. Good morning. Hexcoin. Dorsey SE Duke of Booze. Mike Mulder. I think we're catched up.
Well done, Peter.
Yeah,
Good job, Saya.
I think we have Dustbaum in the green room, but I don't see his camera. Dustbaum, I don't see your camera.
Dustbaum, cameraless, and Tardy promised us he would get here on time.
Okay. Who?
Dust Tardy. Dustbum.
Dustbaum.
That's funny.
Well,
There's a live chart behind me, so if anything crazy
no,
goes down,
Dustbaum's still not working.
then Wales only can jump right to the TA part of the show.
Yes, Wales.
Oh,
TA is pointless on the
Peter
way to
Spoiler.
1,000, but you
Hold
guys
on.
can have fun playing with molehills and shit.
Come on.
and
I really enjoyed your rant on Saturday. Was it Saturday?
I don't remember.
Saturday night?
Maybe.
That was a good one. Good one, sir.
Let's see. When was it?
Sadly, Beardman is still
Still
in his
MIA.
beard
His
van. Beardman is in his
MIA.
beard van.
Wave surfing.
We're waiting on the beard to show up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
This is not a pump for ants. This is a pump, true and
Oh
simple.
yeah, the pump is going on.
Pump is going
Yes.
on. All it takes was Richard
Ah.
tweeting about his genital area, and it's a go.
Boom.
So, you know,
He needs
more
to
of
get
that,
that
please.
lead in the pencil.
Welcome, Dustbomb.
Rockets ready.
Hey.
Wow, you're very
Rockets.
pale, Count von Bombula.
What up,
He's
Dazman?
enlightened.
Yeah, lots of light.
Our resident
Use it a little
Vulcan.
bit.
Welcome.
My frickin' camera is always resetting to the headset every time I unconnect it, so I always have to reset the settings. That's why I'm black in the beginning sometimes.
Alan and KNTX, it's always late. He's always late, and I freaking hate it.
I can't
Yes,
stand it.
he's late again.
He's now
So,
500 hours late.
what were you saying? Hex pump? I don't see a hex pump. Where
pump.
is the hex pump?
Look
Come on.
at Cryptomatic.
Are you kidding?
look at Cryptomatic.
Look at this.
What is this? This is,
Look at
Point
this.
to it.
This is a
That's
W.
a tiny pump for tiny people, for tiny ants. What is this?
So irrelevant, man. You guys get hyped over nothing.
This is
I'm
a
excited.
It's not even a higher. It's not even a higher.
High.
Higher high. Yeah.
Wu-Tang,
Yeah.
Wu-Tang.
Not even.
I-
Not even.
Wales only is going to get higher high in a second. Shut up with your
I'm always
bad
higher
mouthing.
high.
He's always higher high.
Wake me up when we are above 33 cents. Okay.
Right. When
I will not. I'll
that's
purposely
something
not
to
wake
talk
you
about.
up.
33 cents. Okay.
33 cents. Gigayan.
Yo, man, you guys are too much.
This is a banana style recovery. It's like a banana.
Yeah, this is just the
Banana
start,
style.
man. You guys gotta
Yes.
chill, you know.
Do you know why the price is moving ridiculously though?
Because
Yeah,
people
you realize-
Sweet.
Because I bought. It's all
No.
me.
Bebop.
No, because the liquidity is getting lower and lower.
Yeah, it's been
More
reduced on
volatility.
V2.
Right.
Reduced on V2 to basically 11 million hex or so, and the remainder of the liquidity is V3 strictly now. So you'll have like 120 million hex, 130 million hex on V3, and you know, 10, 11 million on V2.
Can you pull up Hex Daily Stats?
Apex Win or something else?
HexDailyStats.com.
Nah, it's
Hex
literally hex daily stats. Yeah.
Give me a second or two or more.
If you want me to pull it up, I can. No big deal.
Maybe I have it. Okay. Share screen. Okay, so what do you want to
No,
look
just
at
the
in
main
here? Just
charts.
charts.
Ah.
Okay.
And scroll
Oh,
down a
here,
little
that's
bit.
good.
So
It's further down.
oh wait, sorry, no.
no.
Actually no, it should be on the main. No, sorry, go back. Go back on the main website and then just scroll down a little bit. Just scroll down.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, so too low. Yeah. No. Leave the yeah.
Ah,
like this.
liquidity.
Okay, thank
Okay.
you. So if you see the liquidity is from 256, so it's like a third is gone. And if the liquidity goes down, there is basically less market supply available. It's easier to move the price with less liquidity.
Yeah.
So if somebody buys just a little bit now, the price difference on the actual liquidity pool, the price outcome will be higher for less amount bought or sold.
Yeah, that's true.
And when we were at 50 cents, this was
And
like
we are-
60 million.
We are basically at the
Definitely cool.
bottom. So usually in exponential growth cycles, you have that big rise up and then the 80% dump. Dust bump, yeah. 80% dump. We are very close to those 80%. It can go down a little bit more. It can go up from here. But we are technically in the past it went up significantly from this point. So
Yeah.
scary times.
For those that have not bought only.
Mm.
So if you ain't got your
Yeah.
little dip, your little toes dipped in the water yet, might wanna get there. Because if this thing breaks, what is this, 15? It's pretty much the end of that downtrend channel. So
Yeah. Well,
for those
buyers
that like
coming in.
that,
Buyers are always there.
buyers are always
It's
there. That's
just
right.
that more people are buying than selling. That's always the only reason.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You.
I mean, a whale can always put an end to that, but let's be happy while it lasts because it's looking good, I think.
Well,
It's about time.
the whole point is that you've had a tremendous amount of selling.
Yeah.
Right. You got to understand like the big picture. You've had a tremendous amount of selling ongoing for the past 6 entire months. Right.
Yeah.
Fact. Now, with that, it added significantly to liquidity. Right. We see it. We saw it. Now, what's happened? All of that liquidity on one side of the market has been removed, basically. Right. So, in some ways, you can even say the liquidity overall has been cut in half, because even though one side is lopsided, the dispersion of buys and sales still happens equivalently for the most part. And what I mean is you still have a lot of buying on V2 and not as much buying on V3. So this is why the price can do this little pump. And if somebody goes and sells on V3, it's not going to really do anything to the price because it's so liquid. And the market has to move with the rest of the ratio, with the rest of the supply. So it's almost beautiful.
Yeah, Hexerican, yes, in like 2 or 3 months ago, there was a, what was that exchange name? Bybit hack or something like that.
Bitmart.
Bitmart, sorry, yes. Bitmart hack. There was, I don't know, some few millions of hacks
8
that was
million.
dumped.
I think it was 8 million hex or something like that.
Could be maybe a little
8
bit
million
more.
USD or 8 million hex, one or the other. I can't remember which one exactly.
And one OG was hacked.
Oh yeah, right around the same time too.
Yep. Like a few days before the exchange hack, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember, but it was a few days apart. It wasn't that far
Yep.
apart. You're right about that.
Yeah, I mean, that happened, but what also happened was that people who are not down with hacks and not staked and bought in the early days and just held on for 2 years and then now decided now is a good time to move to another shiny object or whatever. I think
Well, it was a
that
combination, right?
yeah.
It wasn't just that. It was that and the people that mistake.
Yeah, but
So,
that I think added to the
oh, of course, because you got paper hands.
yes,
You
Right?
have to be staked.
Yeah,
pretty
you got to be
much.
staked. That's the key.
Staked.
Because if not, that temptation will get you, and we're just human. You know what I mean? That's the power behind being staked and time locked. Is that you don't let your natural inhibitions, which are typically not gonna really do much for you, take over. Hold on, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
5-0.
get
They're gonna get you.
get cleared by the cops and then come back
Yeah,
to
all
us.
right. Just to fucking talk. Jesus. Anyway, but yeah, that's the whole thing. You gotta understand, like, the dance. You know, the dance has to be clear. Otherwise, you're just gonna get lost in the mix.
Yeah.
So, I mean, imagine selling hex at 10 cent, unless you had to.
Right before the fork. Yeah, like no.
Right before the fork, or right before the pump. Like, once all these things start moving, start going in motion, that's it. You ain't stopping this train. Because this has just been
Hey,
one
we have
long
Kyler
pause.
here.
Hello, Kyler.
What's going on, Kyler?
Kyler.
On board the whole Hollywood. That's my message to you.
I
That's
saw
like
Kyler in
It's
Vegas.
like trying to onboard Wall Street, bro. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
It does not work that way. But you
Yeah,
know,
and where were you last week? Last stream.
Oh, I was working on our stuff, bro. Trying to get our backs pumped. That's more important than streaming. That shit don't matter. Price
Well,
ain't
good
going up
job.
on the internet.
Right?
People fail to understand that. What we do in real life is more impactful than the nonsense we do on stream. On stream is just information providing. That's it. People still have to do their due diligence. People still have to make the concrete decision to say, yes, I'm going to invest in this, and then go through the motions, which we all know is not easy, because you go from centralized exchange to non-custodial wallet. And that's a lot of steps for a normie or anybody that's new to actual crypto, because nobody knows what crypto is, just hexagons. And even within that group, it's a scant few.
And then decentralized wallet or decentralized exchange after that as well, connected with your non-custodial wallet, connected up with the front end of the non-custodial wallet.
Yeah, I thought that was implied. But that's the whole point, right? And there's a whole lot of steps to this shit. And it's not normal, right? Everybody used to having everything put on a plate for them. This is why you hear all these boomers saying, well, where's the answer? Where's the book? Show me the answer in the book, because that's what people are taught to think is the right way to find an answer. And it's just not. That's why everything's fucked now. Lesson learned. So if you want to find success, you got to be what? An original thinker, or at least attempt to. It's the only way. Otherwise, most of you people wouldn't even be in Hex. Even if you were just following Richard Hart, you at least had the original thought to follow this guy, which many consider a threat to one degree or another for no good reason, because we all know he's just speaking the truth. And that's why he's considered a threat. So, there's levels to all this shit. Always. So once you really wrap your head around that, like, onboarding is hard. It's not easy. Right? It's really not easy. And I think people really dismiss the importance of onboarding people the right way. It's not just getting motherfuckers to buy Hex. This is not Doge fucking coin. This is not some meme coin. It just doesn't work that way here. And that people have to understand, all that shit over there is trash. This shit over here is legit. Because there is a difference in the top hat.
I just saw a dude in a top hat and thought, what the fuck?
I hope I'm making sense, It's easy to try to make money.
No, you are.
That's funny. And look, it still didn't work.
I'm not amused. This makes no sense when I read it.
Papa V is so funny. In private, he called Das Baum last week the resident.
No, I'm not. I'm doing something else.
What was that?
Doing?
What was that, Cryptomatic? What was that? What did I say?
No, you said last week Das Baum is our resident Vulcan.
Oh, yes. That was in the green room.
That's a good one.
Yes.
I forgot about that. I love Star Trek, the original.
Oh, yes. He is our resident Vulcan.
No, but we got our work cut out for us there. Because, again, with everybody that came in through PulseX, the Pulse Chain, these other coins, everybody's coming into the Richard Hart ecosystem. I still think that's what we have to do and put upon us as a task to onboard as many of these people, get them into Hex. And because many of them I've seen in the chat, they don't even know Hex. They're just Pulse X and they heard about Pulse Chain, but they don't even know about Hex. So, that is what has to be the task going forward.
Do you understand why, though?
Low-hanging fruits. Why?
Do you understand why, though?
Why?
Why they don't even know about Hex or anything like that? Like, I think it's a function of them just strictly not being interested because it's too hard.
Well, gatekeeping plays a part.
Yo, if you're in Pulse Chain and Pulse X, ain't no gatekeeping. You're already in it. That's what I'm saying. I'm talking about the people in the community, quote unquote, already. Look, I don't really consider, and this is no slight, but I just don't. I don't consider people that join the ecosystem through Pulse Chain and Pulse X as hexagon. They're not hexagon, right? They gotta learn.
Exactly. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, they gotta learn.
That's where we have to get to. Like.
Right. Right. But they gotta want to learn. Right, and that's the problem. You can't force people to learn. They have to want to understand that there's something else out there, and they gotta want to learn about it.
At the same time, I don't. On the chat we always get people introducing themselves saying, "I missed Hex and I missed Pulse, but I got Pulse X." I'm like, you didn't miss anything. You just gotta open up your mind and look into hex at a discount right now. The X's are there in front of you. Why would you say you missed either of these things?
Yeah, it's
Granted,
crazy.
Pulse is gonna be price discovery, and there's ways to get access or exposure to it when things are settled down.
I mean,
The
again,
pullback it will happen,
the
and we
difference
expect
is
it.
this, Papa. There's actually no difference. Here's the difference. The difference is your ROI once you lay capital down, because the only differentiator is the number of coins that you actually acquire. At the end of the day, both still have to go up because the dollar or fiat can only go one way.
Hmm.
So the question is, well, how many coins can I get? Or if you really want to get facetious, how many X's can I get? Because either way, you're going to make gains. And I think if people understood Hex more, they would realize that the potential for gains on this side is actually secure relative to anywhere else because of the systematic design of the coin. But you have to actually know what you got to actually know.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the problem. Most people aren't willing to take that deep dive and try to understand. Everybody is cool with a Pulse chain, Pulse X, because that's easy. And that's kind of the point. That shit is easy. And at the same time, that's the problem. So it's not an
Dustbound,
easy
shall
task,
I-
for sure. Go ahead, bro.
Shall I add your screen to the stream?
Yes.
Okay.
This is why I was not listening to you. I just wanted to point out an interesting pattern. So we had when was it? A year ago? When was this big pump? No, 2 years ago. Jesus.
Yeah.
Almost 2. So May 2020 we had this similar lull phase where, can you see my mouse? Yes.
Yep.
Where we had sideways 300 days, so almost a year of staying around the 1 cent area, right? This is this whole time. Hexo had so much fun talking about 1% up, 1% down all day long. It was around 1 cent, and we had this kind of distribution going on here, and we found a double bottom and launched into the big payday, and then another massive drop because everybody knew with the duplication and the 30% extra, you'll just get more coins. And this was basically anticipated by the market, and it reacted to it and so on. And from then on, it moved higher. So right now, we are in a similar pattern where we got this top forming, the 80% drop down, and now we got that double bottom again into rocket ship. It's very similar, and it's the same market behavior that's happening right now.
Yeah.
Just a thing to point out.
Instead of big payday, there's going to be pulse launch.
Exactly.
somewhere in the future.
And the mechanism for that is very, very similar, because you had one thing before, and then you got a second thing. You get more of it. It's the same. It's the same mechanism that's in the background, because you're getting a duplication of the coins. And big payday was, in a sense, also a duplication of the points and the coins that you had.
Depends on how long were you staked, but essentially a duplication. Yeah.
It looks very similar. I'm just wondering if the 2 sacrifices that we had played a role in this, but then again, those coins have not been sold, so yeah, I guess it's similar.
Yeah, you can close it. It's fine. We can
Okay.
have the faces back.
And move. Okay.
So to the moon we go.
I think those tenets that you were mentioning in chat are being compiled by Diraj. The nine commandments of Hex, I think. So we're trying to form those right now. Talk to Diraj.
Complicate. What up, pretty people? Just saying hi. PRT.
Somebody
PRT token.
somebody decode
That's
that message.
What?
The binary message. Did
joke
somebody
for you.
decode
Oh
that?
yeah.
It's
can
a
you
joke.
hear
It's
it?
a joke for you, Dustbaum.
Yes.
For me.
Yes, because you think in binary.
There is a culture around you that you are not a human, so
I used to know how to decode this. Hold on, it's been a while. I'm gonna have to Google it.
Igloo
the
cat
chat
is
can be-
Eskimo. What?
huh?
Did you just decode that for real?
Yeah, but what's the meaning of that? I don't get
Well,
it.
this
I am
is
not
Hello
amused
World.
by this binary joke.
Is that another meme? Igloo cat.
NFT.
The terabyte never wipes its mouth after it's done eating.
Maybe I got it wrong.
Ha.
So what else going on?
Oh my god. I don't want to answer this.
And German
How many Germans
Oh,
does it
no,
take
no,
to screw
no.
on light
Oh
bulb?
god, not this one.
Mm.
I had so many fights over this joke with Bitcoin people.
Really?
We really went in
Hmm.
because you have to consider.
Yeah.
Trying to catch up a little bit on the chat.
There are these printed mugs that say "Fun fact about Germany: there is no fun in Germany. Go back to work." It says on the mug.
That's not true. I have plenty of
double
fun over there.
bottoms.
Yeah, it's not true. At all.
Not true at all.
That's where you got the most opportunity on big drops. When Bitcoin was 80% down, the very, very first time that I bought in on Bitcoin was the drop from the 5K to 3K. That was the big China is banning Bitcoin
China FUD,
FUD
yeah.
in 2017 or something.
September 2017.
That was the best time to buy in because then
Yep.
you'll get a bigger multiple on the way up. The moment that it returned to that 200-day average and you got a lower buy-in instead of 5K you bought for 3K, you got a better price. And then you just wrote it out without having to sit there biting your nails and like, oh my god, I hope it doesn't drop. Oh my god, I hope I didn't lose half of my value. That is a much better entry. You're going to be safe. You're going to have a better time buying on the dip. That's why people have this buy the dip mentality. That's why it's a meme. It's easier to be if you have something that has a product market fit, that's a really good investment. You did your research. It's not some shit coin that's randomly pump and dump. It's something that you're going to use for the next 15 years, for the next 30 years. This is when you buy the dip. The 80% down. You want to buy that one.
But, Das Baum, there is a philosophy also, and the breakout type of philosophy is that you want to DCA on a little bit of an uptrend, so you're always in the money every time you put money in. That also gets you a good place to be, doesn't it?
That's more for trading, because then you're betting
DCAing.
the break. No, I mean the breakout. You said breakout.
Well,
breakout
at
at the
least
top,
the
so you
uptrend,
buy
the confirmed uptrend. I mean, the confirmed uptrend.
Hexicoin is criticizing our long
The
pauses
uptrend at the bottom. Because
After
usually
after the bottom, you don't call the bottom. You look for a significant uptrend to begin, and then you begin to DCA in. So you're always in the money every time. You don't run out of cash.
yeah, that's right now when the
Right now, exactly.
the neck is broken, but that's another like a cent away or something. It didn't
Well-
quite break it yet. There is still resistance at 14 cents.
Yeah. 14,
Yeah.
15 is the wall for now.
What is it? 14 and then
So when the neck is
well,
broken
15,
at that
yeah,
point,
14.5 would be a higher high after the daily candle is closed,
okay.
or at least local higher high. It's not the real higher high, but yeah.
The name of this gentleman here, Logan's Run, is an exceptional movie, and I wonder why it hasn't ever been rebooted. Has it ever? It's never been remade.
Typically, reboots suck. Like, name me one.
Yeah, but Logan's Run is a classic movie,
Doesn't
man.
matter, bro. Leave it as good as it is. Don't.
Right
don't,
on.
You know, like.
Don't
look at what
reboot it.
Look at what they did with Blade Runner. Come on.
No, that Blade Runner
I
was
like
great.
I like the second
The
Blade
new one
Runner
was fucking
for some
great.
reason.
I can't with these people.
It was good. Shut up with the Blade
Yeah,
Runner.
but why so many zeros?
It wasn't a reboot either. It was a
balances-
sequel.
I'll
The
let
balances are probably that low for people that put in like $1.
Yeah,
They just
and
had to
because
make
it's
it
a
someone
one-
sacrificed
it's a one
like
point-
$1 yesterday, then yeah.
It's just,
Yeah, it's
just
like a
for convenience.
$1.2 million X, right?
It's so you can beat to your beats, man.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Where do you see them though? Because I don't see them.
You don't see all the-
spreadsheet.
The spreadsheet Richard tweeted out today.
You need it?
Oh, it's overloaded. It doesn't load all the way. Okay.
Haha.
Takes a while, yeah.
Is CO2G serious or just joking? I don't know.
Joking.
I never know.
Finbear says, "Look at Ghostbusters." Yes, very true.
That was
That-
horrible. Yes,
that
but
remake
I'm not,
sucked ass.
yeah, but this is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about something of quality. Like, has there ever been one? There have been remakes that were awesome. I think that this new movie, was it Murder Alley or whatever it's called? That was actually a remake of an old black and white movie that was kind of okay, but the execution of this one is, mwah. You should all take a look at it. It's up for the Academy Award.
Ghostbusters had a Star Wars feely kind of remake. It
What?
just yeah. So the new Ghostbusters, they touched on the old story, and they just rehashed the story with new characters.
Oh, that
And
sucks.
Django
they did the
Unchained was
same.
a-
They did the same with Star Wars. Basically, Star Wars 7 was the same as Star Wars 4.
Yeah, that's true.
You
Which
just had
was
the same
very
story
sad,
with new
yeah.
with new characters. I thought that's gonna be
Yeah, Dune. That was not a bad
Dune was
reboot.
good.
It's the third time they've rebooted it, but yes, it was very well done. Yeah, that's a reboot.
Dune was great. Yeah.
Also,
I'm waiting for Top Gun remake.
Top
Did you
Gun
see my Top
remake?
Gun picture? Yeah, put it in the main chat. You
Where's your Top Gun?
What?
can put that up. My Top Gun picture. That was hilarious.
Oh, I saw it. It's in the Telegram.
Casino Royale instead of the cheesy one with Woody
Okay.
Allen. Yeah, that was good.
Casino Royale.
One
Yeah,
moment.
yeah.
Dust Bomb is also a remake, Alan says. We cracked a smile. Oh no.
Okay, so this
World is
is
near.
Cryptomatic in a
you go.
Maverick jet.
Maverick. 35 years later.
He wonders where he went wrong.
Danger.
Push the eject button and fight a jet.
Yeah, push the eject button. Hits the top of the
Waiting.
hangar.
Waiting for Top Gun Part 2. So I volunteered, but it didn't really.
That's called Topper Gun.
Nice.
That was funny.
That's what you can do in California. Shit like this.
Yeah,
It's actually
man.
on an aircraft carrier museum where they had this put up, and you can sit in any fighter jet and helicopter.
Did you make the
Interesting.
sounds?
Yeah.
Of course.
He's on a board.
So the EES button.
Let the memes begin.
All right.
Oh yeah.
Did you post it on Twitter?
I posted it on Twitter.
Yeah,
Where
it
was
was
it?
on
Okay.
Nice.
Come on, guys. Let the meme commence.
It was a few days ago.
Aren't you a little short for a stormtrooper? Highway to the DOS bomb zone. Anyway, let's talk some Pulse X. I'm so very excited about all the things I don't understand.
You mean
Like the liquidity providing the single side, the token that is a place setter for third party tokens that is yielded, and then how long you can do it without checking on it, how long you have to manage it actively. It's not a set it or forget it, but it is exciting about how many different ways you can get yield from this one little invention. What do you think?
First
I
of
think
all,
it's great.
we have a name finally, right? It's the ink token now.
Ink, yes.
Yeah,
Ink
it's
token.
not X Pulse X as
No.
it was assumed before. It's
Nope.
its own ENC, ink token.
But what about party and a single-sided liquidity?
Wasn't that just a random test token?
PRT
It was-
is a place setter
yeah.
for third party, which we're going to vote on
Yeah.
those that are yielded, so that it creates or sell pressure on somebody else's token and not any that Richard has created.
Papa B, I always thought that the PRT stands for Pulse Reward Token. So,
I also came to that conclusion about 3 seconds after I saw those letters. However, inaccurate. It is a place setter for party, third party token, which in itself is a place setter for any number of third party tokens to be elected through the DAO, I guess. And then we decide which one will be yielded, and then you get it, and then you dump it, and
of
you
course.
give all the sell pressure off to the other third party.
Naturally.
I like.
Yeah, just let's just wait until it's out and
Okay.
Trevon
earn
James did
as
it.
much as possible and then dump
I
it.
mean,
right?
Construction
it's
video
hard to talk
yesterday.
about much because there's just no parameters to really discuss.
Yeah.
Just know, the bare bones of it, of what's there. So it's hard to talk about it. If you don't know what yield farming is, it's just providing liquidity to a network. Liquidity providing is providing liquidity to specific pairs within a DEX. There's a difference.
Funny. Perpetually unimpressed.
Yeah.
That's the PU token, and that is yielded when you stake Das Bomb. Yes.
No, but you have to.
I just have nothing to contribute right now.
It's news.
That easy.
You took the day off when all this stuff is unfolding in the chat, man. You should have come on in and seen how crazy and heated it was. People are speculating
Today.
all over the place. Yeah, today.
Okay.
And then the spreadsheet comes out, and everyone's bonkers about, hey, yeah, what are these numbers? What are these decimal places? And why do I have so many more?
What does it mean?
I'm gonna have a look
did
at it
you
later.
did you guys found a big difference between what you saw on testnet and the spreadsheet?
Now I have to look. God damn it! Why are you asking such questions?
See?
God damn it!
Coke and Hooker's token. Very good.
Ooh, Diraj. Well, I hope you're having you will have a great conversation with.
Oh, it's actually
the man in the
loading
mirror.
now.
But, Diraj, that is not a man staring back at you. It is the man with the golden mic.
Yeah, Diraj, practice some new songs or something.
Mm-hmm.
Please don't.
Why not? I think this is amazing.
Inviting freedom, freedom, freedom.
Yeah, David Hasselhoff got nothing on this.
His own
I mean,
fade
like-
out is great, yeah.
Did you see the what was it called? The movie, like this short YouTube movie. God damn it, I forgot.
Man
And
with
David
golden gun?
Hasselhoff made a soundtrack for that. That it was kind of good, quite amazing, I would say. What was its name? Kung Fury. Yes.
Kung Fury, yes. Yes, that
Yeah,
was
look it
actually
up.
good.
It's a great like 30 minutes movie or 40
Yes.
minutes.
Yes.
It's amazing. And the soundtrack from David Hasselhoff, perfection.
He's big in Europe, you know.
In Germany,
Actually,
Don't brush him off on the rest of Europe. He's
Especially in
yours.
Germany. For
David
whatever reason.
Hasselhoff.
We love that guy.
He brings me joy. Sing again, David.
Yeah.
Knight Rider and Baywatch. Jesus Christ, that was something.
I think they even had him last New Year's Eve. They had him on the, there's the big, like in New York, Times Square. We have this in Berlin at the Brandenburg Gate, and I think they had him on just for one song before the clock ticked over. This last New Year's Eve. Yeah, crazy. Yeah.
Okay.
I have actually more polls on the testnet than in the list.
Peter, did you find your missing pulse token?
What?
You were missing some pulse tokens in your balance.
Yeah, it's still missing.
Still
I
missing.
hang posters about
Time
around
to
the
get
city
worried.
and nobody found it.
After a man reaches a certain age, he stops producing pulse tokens.
Time to get worried.
Yeah.
That was fun.
So people are missing coins? I got more. How about that?
So the pulse chain balances that were released last night, those are the official ones. So
Well, that's all we get.
So what? Am I the only one who got more then?
You got more?
More? How does this work?
I've never heard anyone cry about
Getting more?
more.
Yes.
So
No.
yeah.
So
got
do not-
Everybody on the testnet was like, I don't have enough. So because you have the Pulse Lead website that has a estimation. You have the howtopulse.com estimation. That one was off for me as well. They calculated more. Then I went on the testnet. I got my allocation. And now the new spreadsheet from Richard posted just recently, that one has me at even less.
If you are dissatisfied with the numberage and you would like them to look into it, all you have to do is add a comment in the spreadsheet.
Yep.
Post it in.
Yup.
Yeah.
I'm
I
sorry,
don't know.
Richard. I have too many.
Yes. Did you comment it, Dustbound? Did you have too many? Look at you. Horrible.
Yeah, it's gonna be fine either way. I mean, if it was like at half or something, I would probably
Half
look into
more?
it. But
That would be.
if the delta is like what 2%, maybe 5, not even. So
This is what you deserve.
yeah, as long as it's not like a giant leap of 20 to 50% or so missing, I don't think it's worth it to double check it.
Yeah.
But for you, like if you have funds missing completely, Peter, on your balance, then
No,
I would
completely,
I would
just
comment
a
that.
lower number.
Peter's embarrassed
Okay.
because he didn't sacrifice.
He thought he
I
had.
have 0.
I actually had a
Richard, I have 0 on the spreadsheet.
I had a positive expectation happen to me. I thought my PulseX SAC was 90% less than what it actually ended up being.
90%.
That one is not even coming out until tomorrow. So
Yeah, that I would comment.
No,
Yeah.
90%.
that's accurate because I went on the chain and checked. I saw a balance on the scanner because that's how I was checking. I was checking on the scanner for pulse chain.
Yeah. Same.
And when I saw that, I thought I was losing my shit. So I went immediately to the wallet and checked on Etherscan to see if I did sacrifice, and I had. So go figure. Positive expectations are everywhere sometimes.
just wait until the PulseX gets tabulated again. Lots of people are down 30 to 40%. They're like, what the hell? We tell them.
No.
just
Mine are
wait.
good. Mine are good.
Hey,
I-
you
I-
can leave them the way they are. No problem.
No, I'm just saying, like, I know the math on mine. I know they're good. Pulse chain's been the same throughout the whole. Every time I've seen my balance has always been correct. Never has it been off. Like a few thousand tokens is nothing, so I don't care about that.
Really, even though I dumped about 50,000 tons of ADA at the last second, how do you know? You can't see the ADA balances and how they influence everything. You don't know yet. But anyway, I leave it to you to be happy with what you have and stay strong.
I'm
man.
just going off of what we know the supply is. We can't do nothing else. and that's a dollar value number. It's not a coin value number. So that's what.
Yeah,
I'm
but your
going.
multiple also is in
My
influence.
multiple is what it is. I know what my multiple is.
Okay.
That's OPSEC, sir. I know what my multiple is. See?
I'm not asking you your multiple.
No. But this
Mr.
is why I'm telling you. I'm confident that my math is right. It's been right on Pulse Chain. Why the hell would it not be right on Pulse X? It's
Indeed.
the same math. It's the same math for me. For me, right? My math is the same. Everybody's math is going to be different.
Yeah.
You didn't keep track of what was happening with your wallet throughout the period in time where sacks would happen, and then you're not going to have a solid idea. Like I said, mine were only off by thousands. Like any adjustments were not more than 6 figures. So I have no room to complain, in my opinion. So not tripping. Like the front digits always been the same. So I'm good. As long as those front digits don't change, I'm solid. No complaints here. And that's what I'm basing it off of, because it's just a multiplier. So
What the hell? Look at the strong pumpings.
Well,
Where's
look,
that
man.
weird question
like
about PLSX LP?
what's the question?
Can you light it
You
up?
mean this one?
Is there a way to change my party Pulse X LP back into PLS or PLSX?
You gotta end the
I was
state.
trying to use all the functions of the PLSX app, but now I feel like I'm missing. Those are two different pools
Yeah.
completely. There are two liquidity pools. You'd have to unstake and then remove the liquidity from PRT PLSX. So you're trading your PRT PLSX LP token back into the original coins, and then you have to get back into the new liquidity pool with your new values, with your new coins, because the PRT and the PLS is going to be exchanged at different liquidity pools altogether. I'm not even sure what you're asking. It doesn't make any sense.
Well, the way I read it, he's trying to figure out how to end this state.
Oh,
That's the way I
Okay.
read it. I don't know. Could not be the case, but you got to harvest it. Basically, you got to click that harvest button, and that ends the stake, and it gives you your coins back, along with whatever you earned.
yeah, that's under the farm button.
Pools.
It was farm and pools.
Yeah, so it's
Yeah,
PLSX pools. That's what that one is.
Pulse pools.
Yeah, it gets a
Pulse
little
pool.
tongue twisty.
Yeah.
Well,
So
this is
that
a
answers the
liquidity
question.
providing, so this is probably the pool.
This is the PLSX
So-
liquidity providing.
Yeah. And the farm
Because
is
there's gonna
something
be a
else.
little. I don't know what other dexes and chains do, but I just know what the stuff is, so I don't need to reference other shit. You know what I'm saying? It's just knowing the basics. So whatever other chains and dexes do, I actually have no idea. But the way that the PLSX liquidity providing is going to work is pretty ingenious, because what happens is that you just put your coins in there, and that's it. Everything else is voted on. Everything else is taken care of by the system, right? And at the end of whenever you're ready to end your stake, you just harvest. Done. You get your money, get your coins, and you keep moving.
I
But-
think you need to withdraw the liquidity
Yeah. Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
and then do something else.
Yeah. But this is specific to PLSX, right? This is PLSX specific only. I'm not talking about providing liquidity to liquidity pairs and liquidity
This is a good
pools,
question.
right? Two different things.
No, you don't have to mint Hadron before.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Nope.
Mm-mm.
You
Nope.
can
You gotta make sure you
claim
claim.
or mint
You can
to
claim or
get the
mint.
bonus, but it doesn't really matter.
You must at least claim in order to get the
Yeah.
copy. Period.
Yeah. You get the copy either way of what you already have and what the current state is. If you have a stake, you can still mint and claim for it. You just won't get the bonus if you don't do it early enough. That's the difference. But you always get a
But his question was
copy
very
of the
straightforward.
state.
But I think his question is very straightforward. It's just, do you have to mint it before the snap, and you don't.
Yeah.
You just got to make sure you at least claim so that the system knows you want it. That is all. And it's
There
giving you the
wasn't-
bonus. About the maximum.
There was
I
a
think that's a
maximum
good.
on
Yeah,
Pulse
I think that's good because it gives everybody an opportunity to earn.
Yep.
Well, every
Yeah, but
wallet.
then again, you're
But
just
you
making
can,
your
you can,
wallet.
You can
Different
just,
wallets. Yep.
Doesn't matter.
I don't understand that limitation.
Doesn't matter.
Why do
You
it?
have to go through the inconvenience of doing that and the cost. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, but there is no cost.
Actually,
there is no cost.
Doesn't matter. People still have to go through the action, brother.
Okay, there is the time cost. There is some
Yeah.
time cost and setting it up. So you have to generate
That's
the
not
bunch of new addresses, or you can actually do it on the same seed and you do it within one.
You could, depending on how
Passphrase.
yeah, depending on how it works. But I mean, it's good nonetheless because it still provides a barrier for the little guy to be able to at least enter the game, and that's all you can ask for, in my opinion. That's the way I view it, like that, or that's how I view it. So
yeah.
I mean,
I'm not
I think
even
it's
sure I
really
want
great.
to play that game in the beginning. It seems like people who are more familiar with staking and know the risk and everything, they're gonna do that to get out that extra bonus. But for most of the people that are not used to it, you might get fucked over. if you, yeah, because the market is gonna move away from your liquidity area, and then if you're staked in the wrong coin, if you don't want both of them, you might get
But
the bad
I
end
think
of
this
that.
this was for the farm, basically.
Single side.
Single side, yeah.
No, I mean
Or-
in general, because it's not gonna be just PLSX and polls. People are also gonna ape into something that has like a much higher API. Maybe you get a coin that has 1,000 APY for some reason, and then people will think, oh yeah, I want to do liquidity farming on that coin because it gives me more, and then they end up with something that's worthless at the end because they basically just get their liquidity
They get
taken from them.
1,000% of nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're gonna get burned if they don't understand what they're doing. So either stay on this like safe path in the beginning and learn before you do, and do it with like smaller parts of your total pulse and pulse X, whatever coin you own. Maybe play with 5% of your total wallet value, right? Just to tip your toes in. Don't stake or provide liquidity with 100% of your funds, and then don't provide it in a token that you don't want in the end.
There
You're
you
just
go.
gonna get
That
burned.
adds-
But even still, you're going to get a big bag of the lower value token, and if you can't handle that over time, and wait for it to do whatever it's going to do.
Oh
could-
my God, Nardo! Thank you for the 5.
Nardo for the win.
Daniel, what's up, Nardo? You doing well, brother? So this is what
KNTX.
I'll say. Go ahead.
No. Go on.
Oh,
I just wanted to-
I was just gonna say this is what I'll say about liquidity providing. Think about it like this: for those of you that have never done it before, at this point in time, we're erecting a new ecosystem, a new financial ecosystem, where you know the quality of the majority of the coins that are going to be available for liquidity providing at the start. So you have a major edge versus the rest of the ecosystem that's out there in the promise coin space, which is not crypto. They're going to come over and not want to touch those coins that you know, and they do not. There's alpha in that. Okay? Now, that's number one. Number two, this is how LPing really works, just in an analogous form. You have to realize one thing. We have a smorgasbord of good coins to provide liquidity for. So you have to be comfortable. If you're gonna do this, you should be comfortable with that fact. For example, if you're gonna provide PLSX and PLSX liquidity, are you really losing if you come out with different balances at the end? Probably not. That's some alpha for you. And these are the kinds of things you got to think about, right? This is a literal personal decision. Nobody can tell you what to do. You have to understand the following, and this is the final point. Providing liquidity is like riding a skateboard or a surfboard. A surfboard. It's like riding a surfboard. And as you're riding this surfboard, the market asks you to hold these two bags of coins upright, such that you don't fall over. And if you don't fall over, the market will incentivize you by using its hand to put more coins in your pockets. Not in the bags that you're holding, because you're using your two hands to hold those bags. And here's the catch. The ocean and the motion is going to be how the balances change in your both bags over time. And you cannot control that because you're just providing liquidity. So you have to understand that while the water is sloshing around and you're getting wet, your pockets are getting full. And that's the incentive to provide liquidity.
Whales,
Yeah.
I know from experience that surfing with buckets of coins sucks.
There you go. Something to think about. But that's why you have to be comfortable with the whole scenario. Because no matter what you do, unless it's one-sided, you have to be comfortable with balancing both bags and being okay with the mix at the end, understanding that you're getting compensated to support the system for that task.
But is it fair to say that when you don't have whale-like big bags, that's not for everybody to play that game? Or do we want everybody and their mama to play that?
The percentages are still the same.
Yeah, percentages are still the same, but this is what I'll tell you. Because here's some more alpha. This is the ground floor. The value is proportional to that fact. So while the percentages are still the same, the value is essentially zero for everybody. So if you want to get in and you have a sizable amount of coins that allow you to get in, and you understand what you're doing, and you're comfortable with what you're doing, then it makes sense. Because what's happening is this. Nobody wanted to buy T-shirts when they were 60 cents, right?
Mm-hmm.
Same thing here. Because that's the kind of system we're going to have. And that's what people need to realize. The only difference is how the legs for each stool erect the stool, right? Because when you're providing liquidity, it's a different ball game versus just staking on a one-sided, function.
Yeah.
And that's why I went through that analogy of surfing, holding the bags, trying to balance them, and understanding that while you're not going to have the same quantities at the end of that ride, the market is going to compensate you by getting wet. But that's okay because that's why you're surfing anyway. But that's the whole thing, right? So you have to understand that.
Did someone say stool?
Yeah, you have
And
you
erect.
have the
And
third
erect.
option, by the way, as well. You can just sell the incentive token and get whatever you're missing back out.
Mm-hmm.
So
There's a lot of different ways.
but you have to watch it like a hawk. Like if you're on a coin that doesn't have any value on one side, then you have to be there like every day. And
Yeah.
then the question is, do you want that? Because that's like a full-time job.
Yep.
You're gonna watch it every day, you're gonna harvest it every day, and then you're gonna sell it to get the value out. Check with yourself if you want to do that.
Yeah, and that's why I was telling people, like, understand that at the start of this ecosystem, anybody that comes over that's an outsider is not going to want to provide liquidity to Hex. Is not going to want to provide PLS liquidity more than likely, unless they sacked for it. The outsider is the person I'm talking about, right? So the outsider is going to steer clear. They're just going to come over for the supposed free money, not understanding the bigger picture. And this is opportunity for those of us that are actually in the ecosystem and understand the alpha. This is why you buy T-shirts at 60 cents and you don't just hold liquid. This is the same scenario lining up once again. It's just a matter of, did you sack enough and can you benefit from that? because only you know the size of your bag. So you have to be willing to delay gratification, understanding the process while understanding the process at the same time, because there's gonna be alpha here. You better believe it, because everybody isn't gonna want to touch Hex, PLS, and PLSX. Time is gonna force them to want to touch them, because just like with Hex, people had to acquiesce. You're gonna have clowns that are gonna have to acquiesce to PLS and PLSX. Same deal, because there's a lot of people that just aren't aware, even though there's a lot of people that are. So you have to take that into account, because there's a lot more that are not aware than are aware.
Yep.
Right? So this could open up a whole new financial ecosystem, because guess what? There's no ghost chain here. This is not a ghost town. It's just boom, there. Either the owners want to come and play or they don't. That's on them. But it's there if they want it.
It's the main reason why I'm so bullish on Pulse Chain always, because
Hard
you know
not to
I've
be,
seen
right?
a couple of Ethereum killers over the past years, because I've been around the block a bit, and they all had to start literally empty and had to build community. And you know, we have Pulse Chain, which hits the ground running with a set of live streamers, big communities on Telegram, Twitter, etc. So that's a whole different way to go about it, so that's why I think it's very high potential that this will be the main chain going forward.
Speaking of hitting the ground running, Peter.
What?
No,
On
not
that
yet. Wait.
note-
Let us
No!
finish
Let's
the
answer
Kiwi Wolf
this.
Of
comment.
course.
Yeah. We will supply the initial liquidity for PHEX, PLS, PLS, PLX, and on the PulseX DEX when it first opens. If this liquidity is too low, then the price swings will be wild. There's always going to be wild swings. And who's going to provide the liquidity? The PHEX PLS is already pre-existing, because that's the current Hex ETH pair that's going to be copied over and will be already on the PulseX exchange, because the liquidity already existing. Somebody who is contributed to both sacrifices, the PLS and the PLSX, will be able to provide the liquidity. So that's based on the users who are in both. This poem is incorrect again. Why am I incorrect?
What?
I
Somebody
think
says I'm
that's
incorrect.
just a joke.
Oh.
That can't even be serious, because
Don't
they even
take
I
it
was
serious.
paying attention.
yeah, they even
Uh-oh.
wrote the name right.
I might have said something wrong.
It's
But-
Dust Bum.
okay.
Stop it.
And the bigger question, I think, is where it's gonna cascade to. Like, which coin is gonna win out the most, and what coin will people want to move away from the most? And I'm thinking everything is gonna cascade to Hex over time. But
Yeah.
that's just my personal feeling.
I agree with that assessment.
And with that, outro.
If you don't go